Hey, how you guys doing out there? James Humphrey with another episode of Associates Productions Movie Reviews. I got my co-host with me, Ali. I got Griff with me. And today we are doing Gemini Man. Gemini Man.
2019.
2019. Very recent. Well, it's 2023 here now, so I guess it's somewhat recent.
Yeah, it's recent.
Let's go ahead and get into it. We got Will Smith. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm starting like that. I'm sorry.
Let's go. Will Smith. Like, what?
Let's talk about the story. Let's start out with the story, and then we'll get to Will Smith. You got a hitman who's more or less retiring. And for whatever reason, like every other fucking movie that they do, when the hitman retires, they got to kill the motherfucker. And so in order to kill him, they send a clone of him, who I guess is just as good, but not really that good. If I want to talk about it, let's go ahead and talk about it. Who's just as good as him, which is pretty much the film. That's the film.
He got to survive the clone pretty much.
He doesn't want to kill himself, and the other guy wants to kill himself, and that's the film. I think the concept. Okay. It's getting quiet because I know y'all.
No,
you guys are waiting for the other shoe to drop. I get that.
No, that's not wrong. You said that's the film.
I know. Well, here's the thing. Because I like this movie. I love the movie. I love the concept of the movie.
Okay.
The story of the movie is very good. What kills it for me is Will fucking Smith. I can't stand him as an actor.
What?
Yes, I can't stand him as an actor.
That's wild.
I can't stand.
You have to explain that. Elaborate on it.
He's always crying in his films.
Okay.
But he doesn't cry. He just like tries to man up and cry. You know what I mean? I can't stand that shit. You know what I mean? Or either that, or he tried to do the Denzel, which is the one cry thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And his overall acting for this particular role does not sell me for him being the best killer. He's supposed to be the best in the world. And it doesn't quite sell me that he's like, with his acting, it doesn't sell me that he's the best hitman in the world.
Will Smith, I guess older Smith in this movie, he was trying to be like the stoic, like I'm the old grizzled veteran, which Will Smith is not he's never a good stoic character. What movie are you watching where he doesn't be like, After Earth, which that movie is.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, like that's the only other movie I can think of Will Smith would be like this straight edge, he doesn't have any kind of flair, doesn't have any kind of goofiness. Like even in the movie I Am Legend where he's by himself, he still has charisma. Like, hey, how you doing, Fred? No, Fred. Like he's doing all these little things, and he's making jokes.
iRobot.
Yeah, iRobot making jokes and like that. But in this movie, he's that like we gotta go get this. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, what are you doing? We gotta go out here and fight this guy. We can't let him win this. Or we're gonna go in there and gonna handle this, and then we're gonna do he talking like this the whole movie. Like that's not Will Smith. It's not the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when you see the Fresh Prince. Well, that's why I call younger Will Fresh Prince. That's what
that's funny because
they even gave him the
box haircut.
When they were doing the younger version of Will Smith, they modeled him off of his Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes, that's 100% who it is. Face,
whatever, you know
box
what I mean?
haircut.
But it makes sense. That was him when he was like 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, they had footage to go off of.
Yes.
And then let's talk about the special effects along with the story. It's good, but you can tell it's a body double of Will Smith with the head on it.
Oh, that too. But like it's CGI. This movie is CGI galore. Unlike the previous review we just did with Face Off, where like that movie is practical effects, and you watching like okay, you can see everything, see the stuff, the set and everything. There's scenes in this movie where Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who is the girl in the movie, who's like was supposed to track Will Smith down, and older Will Smith are sitting like on a beach or something like that. Mm-hmm. You can see the fake green screen background. Like it doesn't look like they're at the actual beach or they're like on a plane. You can see the green screen. The most atrocious part is when they're fighting. When Will Smith is fighting himself, and you can, bro, it looked like a PS4 video game.
They're in Barcelona or somewhere around there with the motorbikes or somewhere.
Budapest, I think. Budapest. Someplace. Everybody's in Budapest for some reason.
Someplace.
Like,
you can tell that whole scene is green screen, and they're jumping over whatever.
They're like fighting in not a graveyard, but like a place with a bunch of rock formation and skulls.
It's like I think it was like History Museum. Where they taxi drive somewhere at or something like that.
So they're fighting in there. It's just all green screen. Like it's legit like a video game. Like playing a PS4 video game.
It looks good, but you can tell it's fake. Yeah. It's like a PS4. It's not PS2.
So once again,
it's like a PS4.
If it was a PS4 video game, if it was Kingdom Hearts 3 or Spider-Man on Spider-Man 1, I would have an issue with it. The fact that this is a 2019 movie you put in theaters, come on now.
But even if you harp on the effects, you gotta admit the motorcycle chase was good.
Oh yeah, the motorcycle chase was good.
Action is good.
When he was fighting him with the bike and I've never seen any other movie use that kind of choreography with the motorbike. You know, he tried to trip him and kill him, and he did the jump and tried to run the bike, and you could tell that he mastered riding motorbikes. Like he was just whipping that thing on.
There was a scene with Fresh Prince Will Smith. He did like a running knee to two dudes and stole their bikes. I was like, that was good. Why did he take the bike? Like if I'm gonna run knee somebody, I'm taking your bike. I'm not gonna take the extra bike that was sitting there. Like I was like, why you hit me? I had a straight bullet for no reason, and you took the other guy's bike who wasn't even nowhere near his bike. What the hell, man? But that scene was pretty cool. That was a cool scene. Another thing about this movie that like stood out to me because young Will Smith, right, or Fresh Prince, he's like, no, I'm not like you, man. I'm not like you at all. And older Will Smith like, no, you're 100% like me. Let me guess, you're still a virgin, right? Like the dialogue in this movie was calling him out for why is it right? He's still a virgin. Like he's 25. How do you know he haven't had sex yet? Yeah. He's like, because your guy made sure you did nothing but train, study, kill. Like you did nothing else. Yeah. And then the guy goes back to like his father figure, who was the dude that made him, was like,
Clive Owen.
Huh?
Clive Owen.
Yeah, Clive Owen. Why did you make me for somebody else? They had this whole crying scene at Will Smith. Once again, doesn't sound like Fresh Prince Will Smith. It's older Will Smith talking in Fresh Prince's body. Mm-hmm. Weird.
You can tell they de-aged his voice though. Like they made his, I don't know whatever technology they used, but they made his voice seem younger. When they're talking, and you're like, he sounds younger. Yeah.
Here's my thing. Mm-hmm. Got a clone of himself. Whatever. Get it. There's still 30-year difference between each other, because I guess they said he was 52 or 51 or whatever in the age. So when they were fighting each other, younger Will Smith should have beat the shit out of older Will Smith. Should have beat the living shit out of older Will Smith.
But I guess the argument is experience over vitality or youth or whatever you want to spend. When you imagine like a master versus a student type shit, like I've been fighting and shooting and killing for 50, 30 years, and you've been doing it for you might
also
with hand-to-hand combat.
What's that?
With hand-to-hand combat.
But also think about this: you're fighting your younger self. You know your tendency, your younger self, what you're going to do. So I can easily reverse myself, like, oh, you don't try to come for my legs first because you wrestled, so I'm just jump over you or like move you out the way and like take you down from there.
Okay, I give you that one. He would be able to know his own moves, but however, they wasn't trained the same.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were. They had the same.
Did they have the same
military instructor?
But the other guy was trained better because he was the second copy of him. So he should have been, with that argument, I would say like
he should have been trained better,
a little bit more
different,
better. But I guess the tendency thing of still like, yes, because I was you, or you took my tendencies because you're a clone of me. Like, it's the fact like he can call me like you did this, and this, and like the fact that I know sure that virgin line sticks with me because it just seems so out of place. But I guess because he knew how he might move through life, he's like, you're not gonna be able to touch me because I know exactly how you're gonna move. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're nothing but me, but 20 years younger. Like, try me, young kid.
Let's talk about the ending, the climax to the ending, and all this other stuff. So Will Smith and Will Smith are now friends now.
Yeah, because one, he shot him with
the bee venom.
Okay,
how did that work?
Dude,
sorry, was it a dart? It was a bee.
It was a dart.
Venom dart.
Yeah.
Shot him in the neck, and he's like, he's allergic to bees.
Where do you get something like that?
I don't know.
I need the bee ones, like.
I need the bee.
Not the hornets, the bees.
Not the hornet, the bees, not the snake. Yeah, I want the bee. Tarantula? Nah. Black widow? Nah, I need the bees for sure. Or killer jack or honey. Or thank you. Well, like he shot him. They gave him the antidote. And then he was like, by the way, there's a tracker inside you. Let me cut you out.
Exactly.
You could have just told me, hey man, they're tracking me.
It's not even that. He hit him with the venom and then gave him the antidote. He still should be kind of drowsy, kind of fucked up. He got up. It's like, okay, I can walk this off and then go back to fighting or whatever. You know what I mean?
Genetically modified? Did I miss that, or he was just a killing human?
He was just a. Which one?
I don't think he was
the older Will Smith. He wasn't genetically modified.
No.
He's talent. He's just because remember he said he wasn't very good. His mom died or his dad died or something like that. And then he had the training, and he said that was the only thing he was good at.
Yeah,
he just had a natural talent for being a badass killer.
Okay, so he was just Killmonger from
years of experience on top of that. Years of experience, and then eventually, you know, if you want to tackle the psychological aspect, it started wearing on him. Like, he's a human, so that's why they made the clones. It's like, okay, we need people who don't have this conscience.
Right.
And then he was like, man, I'm tired of this. I was 6 inches from killing that girl on the train.
Sure.
If I would have missed, I meant him in the head, but I hit him in the neck. So he's like, I'm done with this shit. I'm getting older. My conscience is fucked up. I like how they touched on
Will Smith should have known that if he was going to retire, that they were going to come after him. You know what I mean?
Because he's probably did that shit.
It's like seriously, I hate when they do that shit in movies where the hitman tries to quit whatever and not think that they're not going to come after me with all the shit that I've done and all the people I've killed.
Looper is a good example.
You know, it's like at least he knew that he was coming after himself though. Yeah. You know, at least he knew that. Yeah. He did. And so back to the end of the movie.
Oh wow, this is hit full circle.
Yeah, no.
Looper, Gemini Man.
But then again, those are all movies that Face Off, Looper, all those movies where they switch characters or whatever, they try to kill each other or some shit like that. You know, it's kind of crazy. Anyway, so then in the movie, they're friends now, buddy, father son, however they want to call it, and they're going up against Gemini, who shut down a whole fucking city, by the way, to go fight and kill just this one dude, whatever. It comes to find out that there are more clones of Will Smith.
Yeah,
I guess there are other ones where they've been genetically altered, where they don't feel pain, they don't feel fear.
I was like, this man got hit with it. So
that's crazy. I'm like, what is this? This is a cyborg?
Right. Like, he got hit with incinerating bullets. He just said, wait a minute. And like, now y'all still here shooting him.
That helmet, ding,
yeah, I'm like, I would have been the moment I shot you with incinerating bullets where you get a catch fire, you didn't catch fire, you just went. Yeah, I'm like, nah, we got time out. Who the fuck is this? Like, how we get here? I need a time out. I need to talk to everybody. Like
again, this goes back to my previous point to where older Will Smith does not play that badass of the younger version of himself. Yeah. Like, it doesn't play. You know, in my mind, I'm not seeing that old Will Smith being that badass at that age. You see what I mean? So anyway, he whipped the shit out of younger and Fresh Prince and other Will Smith or whatever. You know what I mean? Until the girl finally shot up, whatever. Anyway, killed the guy.
Yeah.
And then older Will Smith killed daddy to younger Will Smith, whatever. And then here's the trippy part of the whole ending of the film, where you got younger Will Smith and older Will Smith. They still buddy, still friends. Mm-hmm. And then the one guy just, hey, I'm gonna relive my life better than your life. You know, whatever. We're gonna go our separate ways, do our own thing, whatever. And that's the end of the film. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you forgot about the one Will Smith they took. The third clone was a 16-year-old version or an 18-year-old version of the older Will Smith. Like, he was younger, couldn't feel pain, and like also made to be more like genetically modified and more of a killer than the other one. Mm-hmm. So the dude was like, Clive Owens was like, oh, well, you let young Fresh Prince version of him change them over. I'm gonna just take the pain aspect out of it, so he can't feel pain or have no emotions and just a killing machine. Like, it was like a Terminator cyborg kind of mentality at the end, where Mary Winstead, who is, if you ever watched Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, that's Ramona Flowers, and she just pretty much was like, no, I'm gonna kill him. Like, it just end him. Sadly, that kid, like, he looked like he was just like,
well, here's the thing. He took all that pain and he died from the
dude got set on fire like 5 times.
Yeah, but that suit that he had was not penetrating that. He just kind of killed over, like, I guess from exhaustion or whatever the fuck. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he couldn't feel pain. Yeah. His body eventually had to, like, say, okay, I'm done. This is too much. Even if he can't feel it, the nerve endings or whatever.
Right.
His body still receives injuries. Like, you got hit with a lot of shit, dude. Like,
so also fighting 2 versions of yourself. They're like, also like imagine me getting jumped by my older self and two older versions of me. I'm like, that ain't fair. Like, what is it? Even I am the better one. I'm like, this ain't right.
I'll tell you something that I learned from this movie that I found interesting, and I use this even from my outside life as a father. You see Clive, from Clive's perspective, his logic. Like, you see the difference between the mother side, having that nurturing side, and then the paternal side. Like, he only had his father, the Will Smith clone, the first clone. Mm-hmm. He only had his father, and he didn't have that nurturing. I'll teach you how to kill. You're gonna kill animals. He said, I hated that, but I'm teaching you all these things to make you to this cold-blooded killer. It was just nothing but pure logic.
Yeah.
And as a father, you know, you kind of just more on that side. You don't really have quite the nurturing side. And it's like, man, everything he's doing, it makes sense. But without that nurturing side to balance him out, he just is cold-blooded killer. He doesn't know how to feel. He does not express his emotions. And it's like, damn, that just made me think, like, that's why it's important to have that balance of raising a child. I know it's kind of
no,
it's a tangent, but it's just something that I got from the movie. Like, cause I'm kind of like that with my son. I could be kind of cold, a little bit, not cold, but like, yeah, you be all right, you know, daddy shit. When the mother's like, oh my baby, oh you can kiss it, 15 years old, oh let me, you know what I mean? So
you're like, get up, put some dirt on. It's
yeah,
fine.
exactly. So you see that what it's like, only being raised by not only just a father, but a cold-blooded, pure logical, cold calculated father.
Who's manipulating him to like say though, like he's gaslighting him, manipulating him, and saying like, no, I'm doing this because I love you. And like, no, you're doing this because you want to use him as a weapon, not really because it's love. You're right. Like, and like that, you see what the evil aspect of it, where somebody didn't come with a place of goodwill. They were just like, no, I'm just gonna make you a killer. Versus like he had a dad who was like, I'm gonna try to at least install some goodwill into you. You know, I'm not probably the best at doing this, but I'm trying to do the best I can to make you like a better person.
He thought he was really in his mind doing, like he kept saying, I love you, son, I love you. He thought in his mind what he was doing was right. Like his cold logical approach, you know, it's because one thing he also said, Clive, he was like, instead of sending soldiers out and then you know them dying, we can just make a bunch of clones of the best soldier in the world. Like in logic, it makes sense. It's cold, it's fucked up, but when you think about it, it makes complete sense.
The ability to
People
do it.
don't have to die. We can just keep making clones of this one great person, have an army. That's, you know what I mean? So it just makes you think.
Where he went wrong was that he made the clone with a personality. Like he didn't take the personality away. He took the thought process away. Where
humanity, really?
Yeah, humanity. He did humanity away. So when Will Smith came across, he was like, look, man, you're doing this wrong. I know this. I was you. I am you. Yeah. And he was like, you're not me. Fresh was like, you're not me. And he maybe this one also threw me off too, because we was like, wasn't he just screaming? Because those two scenes are right next to each other. Where he fights Will Smith, they fight each other, and then Fresh Prince goes to see Clyde, and he talks about the whole like how he loves him, how he's a killer. He's like, I don't like killing. Damn, those two scenes are back to back.
Yeah.
So we was watching it. My friends that I was watching, we was like, when did he have time to think about this? And we was like, no, wait a minute. He was just in Budapest. He had to fly back to where he had to go to talk this conversation. Like, he had time to sit there and think about it on his plane. Like, it was like, he's not playing video games. He's a killer. So he was sitting there just thinking like, damn, maybe my older self did have a point. He did kick my ass for a moment there. I guess we are like alike. We don't like this. Let me go talk to Clyde, you know?
So here's what I think is the biggest plot hole of the film. Okay. Obviously, they cloned Will Smith because he's the biggest killer, you know, in the world, whatever. And he even states it like, hey, if they have the ability to clone people, why are they cloning like the biggest killer in the world? Why are they not cloning more doctors and nurses?
Like Nelson Mandela.
You know I mean? So I'm like, even though he's like the top tier, whatever, the world's best, I'm pretty sure there's like a second and a third or a fourth, whatever, that they could have been cloning. They could have been building all kind of armies and different whatever around, I guess, the story of just Will Smith and Fresh Prince or whatever.
But you got Captain America. Why don't you just clone another Captain America? Why you trying to
go after...
that? I know.
They try to clone the serum, though, not the actual soldier himself. But
one more thing on this movie that I want to mention, like you don't like Will Smith because Will Smith has Will Smith isms. That, like, my friends are like, if you see this, you should drink to him. One, he's always screaming. He's always running. His shirt is off at one point in this movie. He's yelling no, or he's crying about something. Like, and then we even threw another one there because he's drowning in this movie. He also drowned in I, Robot, or he's like in water in some other movie. His Will Smith's in water. That's another one to throw in there. Yeah. Because he also was in water in 7 pounds. Like, he drowns in 7 pounds. Yeah. We was like, these are Will Smith isms.
Funny when you start running, I think an Enemy of the State. He's running literally the whole
movie. I think he's running in Pursuit of Happiness too at one point. Like,
he was running and got hit by that car.
Yeah. There's not one movie where I can think Will Smith, like Men in Black, Wild Wild West. He's running in all his.
Tom Cruise as well.
They're always running.
Yeah, but Tom Cruise only runs in this film. He doesn't do all the other mannerisms.
I haven't seen King Richard. Was he running in that? I'm pretty sure you might find it.
I've actually seen that movie, but I don't think maybe he was running somewhere around. I know he was crying.
Yeah, I guarantee that.
I can't take him seriously, man. I just can't. Every time I do see him, it's a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Because I was a huge fan of it. Watched it, every episode, whatever. So maybe I can't get that out of my mind when I see him. But then when he's doing his whole romantic comedies or he's doing his action comedies or whatever, it's just I can't take him seriously.
Really?
Like I hated Wild Wild West. It was a terrible movie.
Yeah, that was like he actually said, which was crazy because he could have done The Matrix.
Don't say that, man.
Yeah, like he could have done The Matrix. He turned that down with Wild Wild West,
which I'm glad.
Which is imagine if Will Smith was Neo.
Oh, you would fuck that up.
Imagine what could have been.
Well, see, they said the same thing about Keanu Reeves though before The Matrix. He was just
yeah, man.
The thing is, Keanu Reeves didn't have a lot of movies in his belt before The Matrix. Well, I guess he had Speed. Yeah. But he didn't have a lot of action movies on his belt. Speed and Point Break. Yeah. But the movie that got him The Matrix was Johnny Mnemonic.
I actually like that movie.
I've never seen it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no.
That's actually a pretty. I think that was a standout role for him.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gemini Man is not a bad movie. I love the story. The story is good. Having a younger version of yourself try to kill you, whatever. The story is pretty good.
I think it's an average good. Cause the movie is slow. Now let's talk about that real quick. The start up to that movie is slow. I remember we was watching. We just want to see Will face Will Smith. When did it take in? It was like I feel like it didn't have like 20 to 30 minutes in, and then he shows up, and then it takes off with. This throws me off too. I gotta talk about this. Sorry, I know you better cut it up.
Go ahead.
One, so he's like, okay, we're being chased by somebody. So he goes pull the sniper up and he looks, and then like young version pops up. And like, why did he pop up like this and then disappear? And then they see each other. But okay, so one thing,
go ahead.
Throw logic and logistics out this movie too, because I get it. He's fighting himself. He threw a grenade at him at the corner, like they was at an angle. So
yeah, they're up and down the stairs.
Yeah, he throws the grenade down, it bounces off the wall, and young Will Smith shoots the grenade back up, and we was all like, "We play Call of Duty in video games. That's not how grenades."
I want to say that's not a typical grenade. It looked like it was like a metal grenade. I wouldn't say it's not a typical grenade.
But it didn't explode.
I'm glad you brought that up, though. Because now that's like another huge plot hole in the film. Because here they meet for the first time, they fight for the first time. How did they not know? It's like, bro, you look way too like me, dog. You need stop for a second. Hold on, stop for a second.
No, they were just sitting there talking to each other. Yeah, they was like,
you look just like me. Like when he saw him on the roof, he's like, hey, bro. Real talk, like let's put the guns down for a second and like have a quick conversation because I feel like I'm fighting a clone of myself.
Because like Will Smith could have killed himself multiple times, but he always stops. He's like, I can't do this. Like he looked too much like me. And he realized like, oh no, you are me, 100%. Okay.
And he even said it like, did they show you a picture of me? It's like, yeah, man, you look old. It's like even then, it's like, okay, you should have known. You should have fucking known right there.
Well, I think with that, he said, "Have you seen me?" He said, "Yeah, you're an old man." I think maybe he described the target, but maybe he hadn't seen his face yet. Because when he did see him, he did like, oh shit, okay, this is weird.
Yes,
I don't think he
did say yes though. He said, "Did they show you a photo of me?" He said yes. Or did they show you a picture of me? He said yes. You look old. So I'm like, he knew who the hell he was.
Right. He shouldn't have any issues or quarrels by killing him, but no, he stopped too. Fresh was like, yeah, I can't kill old man.
Which makes me think about that mission or the mission briefing. It's like, hey man, I want you to kill this guy. It's like, this guy looks like me. Like, what the fuck?
Right. Like, I thought there's only one of me. Like, whoa.
If I put sunglasses on, he still looks like me. Yeah. So he should have known there that he was killing.
That is true. Yeah.
A clone of himself.
Yeah. But he went and did the mission anyway.
Like, holy shit.
Right.
It's still a good movie, other than Will Smith.
Will Smith's not that bad. I will agree with you. Will Smith does make, because it's literally him, so he has to make the movie. But
imagine if Tom Cruise would play that role though, or another action star like John Boyega or something like that. Well, I guess he's not that old though. You have to get like an old veteran actor to do it, like Tom Cruise. Yeah.
I guess Tom Cruise could.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Well, he's too young. He's too young.
Oh, you mean older?
So you have to get like an older guy that's playing like
Denzel Washington, so like Equalizer.
Yeah. And if anything, it would have been better that Denzel facing, because he actually has an actual son that looks and sounds just like him.
Oh yeah.
So,
and then I was thinking of who else another like has a movie, John Wick versus himself. That would be.
Yeah.
That would be wild. I can see that one. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Like I think Will Smith is hard to be a stoic Will Smith. Like he needs to be like Will Smith should have did oh hell no in this movie. Like he didn't do any of that. He was always the story. Like he can't do like Keanu Reeves could do that. Like
he did like what is this, Lord? What is all this? Yeah, like I can't take. I was ready to turn the movie off there.
Keanu Reeves is like he'd be perfect for. He can do that. He can definitely do that whole like subtle stoic. Like I'm just here. Trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, but a younger version of him, though. I mean, imagine like Point Break fighting John Wick. You know what I mean?
Sure. Or it has to be a young John Wick, though. It can't be like. It can't be.
Well, that's a whole other story because that motherfucker stunt. Okay, we gotta cut the episode. We gotta cut. If we're getting on stunts and old shit.
Bill and Ted's.
Bill and Ted. Yeah.
Bill and Ted.
It's so good.
I got Ali over here. I got Griff over here. You got me, James. We'll see you guys next week on another episode of Associates Productions Movie Reviews.